Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And that's how the bowling ball was invented.
That's right. Back here, Friday Night Lights and the Two Dads podcast with the Uberman and the other man. Sid, how you doing?
All right, man. All right.
Yeah. It's been a big week. Good
Not
week.
bad for Friday.
Not bad for a Friday.
Been a good
Our normal
week.
time slot. Thank you.
Ended nicely.
And welcome back.
It's not the end.
Well, we're getting there. Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to the Two Dads podcast. We're great to have you back here again. Hope you've all.
And
had
it's
a
not
good
because we are two dads. It's because we are too much like dads.
Very, very, very much too much like dads. That's for sure. And with being dads, there are two things that we love.
The two things that we love.
Mate.
And there's two things that is quintessential of being a dad.
And as the T-shirt will one day say,
some are fathers, some are dads. And if it ain't punny, it ain't funny.
If it ain't punny, it ain't funny. Ain't that the truth, Ruth? And yeah, we do. We we're talking about something serious.
Every saying that's ever existed.
we'll have a serious topic. I don't know what the topic is. We are on episode 24. We'll find 24. Out the topic soon. Sadiq will share that 24. With all of us. 24. But before that, we'll do all the Two Dads stuff that we normally do to our regular viewers and listeners. We'll get into the puns and we'll get into the dad jokes. And then after that, we'll get into some of the serious stuff where, here on the Two Dads podcast, we are all about writing a love letter to common sense. The topic, as I said, Sadiq will let us know what it is, and then we'll write our little love letter and put our
love letter to common sense from an ethical standpoint.
So
and it's
that's
a point
exactly what we'll do.
Surely missed these days,
Yeah, well, the world is a different place, that's for sure.
Very different place.
Very different place.
And we tried to bring a very common sense approach.
We try, and we also bring a little bit of laughter, bit of joy. We try and put some jam in that donut.
I think the news has more than enough things to de-jam or unjam or squash your donuts.
Well, I'll tell you, if there's any news,
no one likes a squash donut.
No one likes squash donuts. No one loves a squash donut. And there's like you said, there's plenty going in the news, and it sounds like the cousin of Unicron and Ultracron is making its way into the world now.
It's roaming across your neighborhood and right up in your face.
Right up in your face. So it's
now they're talking of the fourth dose, as we said before.
Yeah.
We said the other week. I told you.
There's no longer, we're not doing the trilogy. We're doing trilogy plus one.
Yep. We're doing a whole series. It's just going to be every 6 months. I don't know why they just don't say it.
Well,
just say it. Look, expect every 6 months. You get your flu shot every year.
Yeah. And in all of the clinics, just play LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out. First verse, the very first line. Don't call it a comeback.
Call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
We've been friends for too long. Don't call it a comeback. Yeah, but look, I know we're getting to the puns, but I'm just making this point.
Yeah.
They announced yesterday that they will be building a facility in Melbourne to produce vaccines, which will come online in 2024.
There you go.
So, if that doesn't tell you, it's going to be every 6 months.
If that isn't the step right up, everyone's a winner.
I'm sure that they'll have a drive-through at this factory. It'll just be its own off-ramp.
I reckon, you know what?
Off the Westgate Freeway or something.
It'll have southeastern suburbs, kids. City Central, the Hut.
Come on, kids, let's hit the Hut.
You know what? They don't have to build a facility.
And then we'll go for ice cream afterwards.
They don't have to build a facility. They have already hundreds of facilities. I reckon they just implement it at the Macca's drive-through. And instead
7-Eleven.
Instead of, would you like fries with that?
Sir, would you like some?
Would you like a jab with that? Just use the infrastructure already in place.
Is this going to hurt? Yes.
I'm just thinking, why build something? You've got something already there.
So, Philip.
Yes, Sadiq.
I'm just going to make a
segue. That's segue.
You enjoy the suburb of Coburg?
Oh, Coburgi. Yes, I had cousins that live in Coburg. I have friends that live in Coburg. Beautiful.
And you also enjoy a good hamburger?
Yes. Oh, where would I go?
Where would you go but
Coburgers?
Hayburg.
Hayburg! Hayburg in Coburg.
Another one I've been past many times. I just never thought,
That's brilliant.
I just never thought about it, but
yeah,
Hayburg.
Nah. Jeez, it sticks out like dogs. Look how big that sign is. Look at that. Hayburg. Hayburg. Have you been there? Have you been actually?
I haven't been in there. No. I've been in there.
No.
Now there's one. So we're going to go to our parent of a country.
Okay.
This is a chain in the UK.
Oh, right. Yep. That's
right.
My parent.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's also a little bit of a pun.
Yeah.
So with the 2 Dads podcast, we're going to talk about for the motherland.
Mothers.
So in England, there's a chain for computer repair stores.
Oh, a chain for computer repairs
in the UK. Yeah. So
they're a country of.
Where else would you go if you're a fan of puns? But
the technology's let you down.
The graphics will let me down.
The look of exacerbation on your face. It's actually worth it. It's just
it is fun. No, hang on, wait. Let me. So for abuse on Spotify, you can see
bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
There it is.
Works. Technology has not let us down.
From the door, bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
That's clever. That's
very clever.
That's very clever. Good on the Brits.
It's a chain, and it exists. No, so there's no flotation devices on the.
There you go. You just got it in
on the Rexton. So I can't say that I drove past it, but there you have it.
I get you. How did you come across this?
But that one's been hanging around for a while. No,
How did you come across this one?
I've had that one for a while.
You've had it for a while.
So yeah, but just haven't used it.
Oh, okay.
I've got a lot in the tank.
Oh yeah.
UK
bits and pieces.
PC repair, and it's a chain.
Okay.
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
It's a good one.
It is. I like it. I'll give that one.
So for the next one, we're going right back.
Oh, we're coming back to the homeland?
To Melbourne.
Yeah.
We're going right back to Melbourne. Part of Melbourne. You may have seen it many times, but you've just never thought anything about it.
Whereabouts? This isn't in my neck of the woods.
Yeah. And you thought, what does it have to do with this?
Isn't that Lord of the Flies?
You got it.
It is, right?
See, we've been friends for too long.
So
you may want to explain to people on Spotify.
So what we've got here, and it's I don't think it's the original. I think it's the remake.
It's the movie.
It's the original or the remake? The remake?
No, it's the original movie.
Is it?
No. There was never
a remake.
It's the only movie. Yeah.
Okay. So the picture is of the it's a scene from
Nobel Prize winning,
where it's all the young boys, dressed all with spears and topless and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we've got. Okay, how is this a pun? How long is this bow? How long is this bow that you are drawing?
It's a long bow, but if you enjoy the movie and hopefully have read the book, and it's a Nobel Prize winning book, So if you enjoy the movie, enjoy the book, you can go to Lord of the Fries.
Is this in Melbourne? It is not.
There's a few. Seriously, you haven't seen it?
No, dude. When do I get out? If it's not in Narry,
all over. It's all over the city. I reckon I've seen at least 8 of them. So it's a chain.
Obviously, the speciality is French fries, like different types of.
No, it's all artery hardening. There's nothing. There's no. I'll take the vegan option.
No, there's no broccoli.
Have you got the green beans? Have you got this?
There's no broccoli shaped into chips.
I've never eaten there myself, but I've just been past it many times.
Fries. So that's a good spin from Lord of the Flies.
So it's a good bow, right?
I like it. You did well. You did well.
Thank you.
Well done.
I bid you adieu. Well done.
What are the fries? I'll have to check that out. I'll have to get out more. Tell you that ride along. It's got to happen.
Lord of the Fries.
That ride along. I can just sit in the door pocket. You won't even notice I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
You won't even know I'm there.
Maybe in our old age, we'll be able to start some sort of a pun tour of Melbourne.
A pun tour. Imagine that. Imagine, and to the left you see the sign, "Hey Berg," here in Coburg. You get one of those topless, take the roof off a double-decker bus.
The bus.
The pun tour.
I got another one. It's a bit of a joke, but I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work because the size of the screen and all that is probably no good.
Yeah, let's have a crack.
But let's have a crack.
We encourage having a crack.
It's not going to go. Anyway, it's a joke. Shout out for Natalie. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Natalie.
So what it is, there's two Malamutes on the couch.
Yes.
Right? And the first one said, tried to catch fog yesterday.
Missed. Oh God.
Don't you love it?
There is no end.
Don't you love it?
There is no end. Even in memes.
There's no end to the punnage.
Even in the memes. God.
All right. I hope you're prepared, Philip.
I have prepared.
I hope you're prepared.
Sure, Sadiq.
So Shakira helped me with this. She actually got very excited when I said, "Look, you have to take a photo. You have to take a photo."
I'll take a photo. Oh, so okay.
Yeah. And she got into it.
What? Have you seen one of the heroes in Melbourne?
Melbourne has a new hero.
What? A new hero.
A new hero.
Now, this is like the Avengers.
We have seen the pimp on Laundry Day. Right? We have lamented. Where are you?
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Hang on. I have found.
You're not his trick, right?
It has been revealed.
What have you found?
1 second. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, I
hang on with Sadiq.
I have found Melbourne's new hero.
It's not his strong suit. Who's this?
Melbourne's new hero.
What is that?
Is the Pimp Daddy.
He's full of... Oh wow! Look at that.
The Pimp Daddy.
The Pimp Daddy. This looks like somewhere
out
along
and about
Brunswick Street.
You are so close.
Oh,
you are
Sydney
so
Road.
close.
Sydney Road?
Almost. It's St. George's Road.
Oh, St. George's Road.
It's in Fitzroy.
Oh, I was gonna
even have action shots. Let me move out the way.
There he is.
You can see him.
Wow, wow. You hear the music in the background.
You don't know how
it's a bit of Shaft music in the background. Look at that. And you...
Who's the man?
Shaft. There he is, directing traffic.
The Pimp Daddy.
Wow.
With his rolly bag.
Look at that. Look at that. I love it.
He just climbed out right in front of the car in order to stop the tram, even though there was like 9 people standing at the tram stop.
So he was trying to help stop the tram.
Yeah.
How's that guy?
The Pimp Daddy.
The Pimp
and look,
Daddy.
he's even got your man bag, Phil.
That's ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that because now his pockets are free. See, his pockets are free, and all the stuff that he needs.
In order to carry his rolly bag and the other 6 bags that he's got. Look the
at
Pimp
that.
Daddy.
That is a great jacket. That's nice. That is
Coming
beautiful.
to a
What is
tram
that,
stop
velvet?
near you. Velvet.
Is that velvet?
That is beautiful.
Look at that.
Melbourne's new hero.
Tell you, man, the Avengers are just slowly. The Avengers are slowly coming into effect.
I want to be front row at that movie.
Could you imagine the Avengers of Melbourne?
The Tartan Angel, the Blind Lion,
the Carrot Man,
the Pimp,
the Chocolate Monk,
and the Pimp Daddy, and the Chocolate Monk,
and the Chocolate Monk. Don't forget about the Chocolate Monk.
Oh,
how many is that? I think we're one Avenger short, aren't we? I think we just need one more.
We're almost there for the team.
We're
almost there.
Wow, fantastic.
So Philip, when
like they bring color to the city, good on you.
look at this.
Love it.
Completely harmless guy, just very eccentric.
Good on him. But that's what we need.
And he basically
encourage it.
I was driving, and he just came out right in front of the car.
Did he say halt in the name of the law? Halt in the name of the law. But he was doing it to help people and get him on the tram.
Hear me roar.
Good on him. Love it.
He looked like he was having a whale at the time.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having fun.
Big fan of the bro bag too.
But the man bag.
Bro bag.
I like you call it the bro bag to make it sound more masculine.
Bro bag. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So that's the puns out the way.
The puns are done. The jokes are what we like to do. I want to see if I can get a couple of jokes.
These have been hand selected by myself.
Ooh.
To be something that you can easily
We've
choose.
Been saying that for 3 episodes in a row. But we'll see. All right.
When does a joke become a dad joke? When does a joke become a dad joke?
When it's not funny.
When it is apparent.
Oh God, that's terrible. That is terrible. Why am I laughing at that? When it is apparent. Very clever. Nice play on words.
Bada bing.
God, that's awful, but so good.
So while you digest that one,
oh, God. Next.
I'll save the next one for in the intermission.
Oh, okay, sure. Hey, you, mate.
Episode 24.
Oh, okay. That's what we get into.
Two Dads podcast.
All right, so this is where we get to the real deal. Let's go.
Yep. Episode 24, the Two Dads podcast. We're getting more cerebral now.
Oh, yes, we're going to switch on.
And we're going to try to
what are we talking about?
Highlight something that is an issue but is not in front of everyone's face.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important. And maybe we can speak about something that is not related to everything you see on the news right now. So
mm-hmm.
Episode 24, the Two Dads podcast, is called, and if you know something about this, I think Steve will never watch again. Episode 24 is called Hikikomori.
It's called what?
Hikikomori.
Hikikomori?
Yeah.
What is this? What's hikikomori? Is it Japanese?
Hikikomori. Yes, it is. Well, it's their word for it, but
okay.
It is a form of severe social withdrawal.
Okay.
Has been frequently described in Japan,
mm-hmm.
and is characterized by adolescents and or young people who choose to become recluses.
So just hide away
in
from
their
society.
Own parents' homes sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So they just stay indoors the whole time.
Unable to work, unable to go to school.
Really? They just stay in their room?
So this social phenomenon is called Hikikomori. Hikikomori.
Hey.
So this is not unique only for Japan.
Just a word. That's their word for it.
That's their word for it.
Isn't
But
it basically
I think
agoraphobia?
shut-ins. Yeah. So we call them shut-ins. So for people that choose to live alone or choose to not leave the house, it is the form of some sort of agoraphobia as well. But that's
agoraphobia, right?
I think it's something that's increasing, especially after the
CoCo?
2 years of the CoCo. Yeah. Many people now, also a lot of office workers are refusing to go back.
Yeah, they are.
And they're finding any reason at all for dust. Even these are the reasons that they're choosing.
No reason for long, mate. As soon as winter hits, probably send everyone back home anyway. Just wait for it.
That's right. But yeah, this is a social issue that's starting to become more sort of apparent, and it's.
But hang on, but they don't. So is it they don't leave? It's like I'm in my study. They don't leave the room
or their house,
but do they still interact with people? Is it because now you've got the internet and like what you and I are doing right now? You're in the western suburbs, 50 k's away, and I'm chatting to you here over, the internet. Is it that they're still connecting with people and they choose to do it in a lazy way where they just sit inside and on the internet?
They are still using the internet.
Yep. They just don't leave the house.
So they just don't leave the house. They're not comfortable in social situations. They're comfortable.
They go outside at all? Like as in backyard, front yard?
Not much. Almost none.
So just think of the health implications that has.
And it's also not only young people. I know it's meant for characterizing young people, but it's also, as we deal with an aging population, a lot of people choose to stay single, and as they become more isolated and withdrawn, it tends to feed on themselves, and they just become more protracted from society.
Yeah. Do you think there's a catalyst for it? Is it something by choice? Is it maybe an incident that causes it?
I think what has made it exceedingly worse is the CoCo.
CoCo has, because then some countries would mandate, it was law, rules, or whatever. A slight element of concern, maybe fear as well. I guess, that would have accelerated it. But it existed previous to CoCo, right?
I think so, but it's just
that's the
it's
catalyst,
just an example of how
bringing it to the foreground a bit more.
Because it has offered these people that have these issues more reason
to
stay as a shut-in. And I think there's probably more than a few parents that may have some kids or a child that hardly leaves the room.
Wow.
And it's not something that I don't think it's something that our generation actually had a lot of, because we would
outside.
It's the opposite. We were always outside.
Well, yeah. It was getting us inside that was a problem.
It's the generation that has existed on the internet.
And that's what I was, and that's why
gaming.
When I first, that's where I first, I brought that up first, because I know, like my nephew's generation, born early 2000s.
Yeah.
These guys, their catch up is playing Call of Duty online with a headset on and talking while they're playing. All right, that's their catch up.
or the one that drives me insane is that you watch other people playing games. I don't get it. I've asked the J-Man many times. I said,
huge
how?
On YouTube. Huge.
Yeah, and
these dudes make money too. Like they get millions of streams and views.
Yeah. They're making like $4,000 a week.
Yeah. From just playing and posting it online. It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't get it. So this is more my kind of image. So I know we're kind of throwing all these things up against the wall, but it all
it all
has a link. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that all people that watch streamers are for gamers are all shut-ins, but it just it feeds.
Well, I guess the question raises that the convenience of it. Like really, if anything, through CoCo that we learned that, you know, we couldn't see people, but with technology like the internet and video conferencing, we could at least still see people and talk to them. Like we couldn't be there physically, but we could still at least have that sense of a visual interaction. I guess what I'm saying, not just the audible one, over like a phone call. Whereas back in our day, mate, we still had we didn't have mobile phones until I think we were 19 when we first got our first mobile phones.
We had to wait until each other was home. Wait. You go.
To ring a home phone and chat.
Hi, Mrs. Zara. Is Philip there? No, he's not home yet. Okay, can you ask him to call?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we used to do, right? It was very different back in the day. That's what I'm saying. So that convenience, it's almost taken the need for, instead of having to go over to their house.
Yeah.
Just do it from here. And Uber is another classic example of this. I don't have to leave my house to get food. Just order it.
That's right. Anything.
You can order anything
that you want. Yeah, you can order anything. They'll go and
the LDV got delivered on the back of a flatbed in the middle of it.
So did my Rexton.
There you go. So this is the point. It's just we've got this this convenience through technology.
I'm sure I have the photos somewhere. But
you know, it's just
it's obvious right now.
But you know, that kind of
with the big red bow and everything
may not be.
Did
you get a bow?
We're all wearing masks. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember you sent it to me. Yeah. Yes, I remember you sent me the photos. I didn't even get a bow. I got nothing.
Why? Why didn't you get a bow?
I don't know. Didn't get a bow. Not happy. Maybe it's a price bracket thing.
Unfortunate.
I didn't spend enough to get a bow. What's it called again? Hikikomori. What's it called again?
Hikikomori.
Hikikomori.
Yeah.
So, how big is this in Japan? Because Japan's like the population
it's expanding quite a lot because for those people that don't.
We have a guest.
What is going on?
Do we have a guest?
Dads podcast.
No way.
We have a guest.
Speaking of Hikikomori, we've got a guest joining us here on the Two Dads podcast.
It is the J-Man.
It is the J-Man. The J-Man, for those who don't know, is
if the technology works, he's the fruit of my loins. And is at
Had
present.
To put it that way, didn't you?
Studying. That's where I'm going.
Got the audio. You got to press the camera. You got to activate your visual. Oi.
There we go. Oh,
here he is.
Suited up for the occasion.
Wow! Here we are.
A professional YouTuber.
Wow, welcome. He's even got some mood lighting in the background.
Yeah. He's got the some smoke going.
Smoke going. Yeah. What's going on here?
The diffuser.
Yeah.
Yeah. My essential oils pumping.
Essential oils, see?
There you go. Well, why do you want to leave your room when you've got that sort of setup? Look how relaxing it looks.
That's the idea.
See?
It's the perfect opportunity.
Where are you where are you joining us from, Jay? Where are you joining us from, J-Man? From Franger?
Chelsea.
Oh,
Chelsea.
sorry. It is no longer Branger.
It's Chelsea now.
Apologies.
How are things in
the
Chelsea
lovely suburb
on this Friday evening? How's things in Chelsea?
on the beachside suburb of Chelsea.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's like a quiet neighborhood. Everyone's just either old or numbed by the sun. So yeah, it's nice.
It's all right.
It's very
oh well, if it's old, they'll all be in bed.
monoculture, really.
Oh yeah,
have it nicely. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining. It's a surprise to have you here on Two Dads podcast. Thanks so much for joining us.
Right.
And
so the topic of episode number 24 is Hikikomori.
Okay, right.
Do you know
familiar with the term?
Yeah, of course.
Is that as in? Yeah, nah.
What's your understanding?
No,
what's your understanding of Hikikomori?
Hikikomori is the shut-ins in Japan.
Oh, hey! The kid's sharp.
He's not my son for nothing.
The kid is sharp. Can I just full disclosure? I had no idea what it was. None.
Fair enough. It's
did not
one
know.
of those issues that are unique.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, agoraphobia is something I'm familiar with, clearly.
Yeah.
But this seems to be different to that. Again, it's almost even further reclusive than agoraphobia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and even to the point where the shut-ins actually pass away.
Wow.
And
really?
Yeah,
it's been years.
And their relatives
never leave.
Because they completely subtract themselves from all society, and because of if you don't fit into the culture for Japan, you kind of get left by the wayside. So
do you think
that isolation further feeds on itself? I think is
because the world's changing. The youth of today. There is, and I want to be sensitive. The way I put this is the way people identify themselves as being is different in our society to when you and I were a lot younger, Sid. Let's be not that there's time changes and time should change, but do you think because of Japan's culture and society, things like that, like how people identify with themselves, it makes them more recluse because they don't want to have to face society based on how they identify?
Well, there's also a sense of shame, right? Like that they feel if they are non-conformists, they bring shame on their family.
Yes, I'm surprised because I thought Japan was, Japan has a very diverse, almost like a subculture with the youth. Like they have,
it's
very. When I say diverse, it's not just a straight cut and dry, hair parted to the side sort of thing. They have the punk scene, they have the, the streetcar scene. They have all these different scenes, and whether I'm just,
but that's
making it all Hollywood. I don't know.
No, but that's a situation where you have other people that are like you. So when you find yourself in a situation where there's not many people like you don't have some sort of, you don't have the support there. So you kind of just draw into and because of how the society is over there, well, that's my whole point of having this subject, that it has bled into other societies as well.
Do you think it's here in Australia?
It's the internet for the gaming kind of draws those people that feel they don't fit in.
So I put a question to Jerome because obviously, he's of.
He's the voice of the youth.
Well, he's the voice of the youth and of the more recent generation. Is this something which, Jerome, maybe within your circle of friends or extended circle of friends or within the school community, is this something which is apparent here in our own society here in Melbourne, Australia?
I'd say no, mainly for the large part is that because like, you know, school life is predominantly what, you know, everyone, 99% of people in my age group really know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like how our, like the Australian school culture is a lot more geared towards like social interaction and, you know, collaboration and like bonding with people around you, which is something that you got to think about when comparing to, you know, Asian countries in general and Japan, where it's very much focused on academics and ranking and performance. And, you know, the social side of it isn't really that important. So it kind of adds another layer to the whole isolationism and, you know, not belonging. So, you know, here I wouldn't say it's as big of an issue because it's quite easier to, you know, develop relationships and, you know, talk to people and kind of get yourself out there. But when a culture and a system is geared towards isolating yourself, you know, for the sake of academic performance, it's a lot easier to delve into that kind of, you know, self isolation.
That makes perfect sense because clearly, you know, I think it's not. It's no surprise to everybody that Asian cultures are very academically driven.
Yeah,
and not to say that we're not
high population as well. I mean,
yeah. So it's
yeah,
you know, you got to lead in front of the pack to want to be noticed, want to get opportunity. You know, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
So it may not be to the same extent here in Australia, but do you think there's like a pseudo subculture of it in the sense of with your generation, Jerome, it's a lot easier to jump on a call like this or on you know, PlayStation and start playing COD or some sort of game online and speak with friends as opposed to getting together and sort of going out. Do you feel that that's something which does happen, and it in this, you know, in the sense of kids just find it easier to video conference or talk over the internet as opposed to let's go out somewhere?
I would say yeah, because I think logistically it is easier.
I think also with the CoCo, it's made it, you know, because you had to survive that way because you couldn't go.
But is there a hang on? Is there a carry on from that? Just because of convenience, I'm not suggesting that, you know, the kids have got concerns about, you know, the number of cases that are active at the moment or catching it and things like that. I'm just wondering if now it's become a habit. It's more of a habit than, you know, more than anything else, because it has been, I guess, practiced during the lockdowns. We didn't have a choice, and now it's just like, well, I've just got into that sort of groove. So, you know, we just, instead of going around to my mate's place to play COD, I'll just do it online because I'm already home, and we just do it this way. And then you have the audible interaction, but you don't have that interaction. So I'm just curious about that. Sure. You know, is that a precursor to Hikikomori?
Don't know. I think in like the scenario that you put forward, I think the key thing of that is that, you know, the substituting going to your friend's place to, you know, play COD to playing COD from home. I think the fact that like that person has it, playing to your hypothetical, I think the fact that person has someone to do something with is already a wide separation from that person and a Hikikomori, because the whole concept behind a Hikikomori is that although they're shut in and that they spend most of their time like online, they don't particularly have an active social life, or they don't
even online.
Yeah, even online.
Really? And so it's more to the point. Yeah.
Yeah. And that the people that they speak to, they probably haven't spoken to in real life, you know, because it's like you said before, it's a very stigmatized subculture. So it's not that people are gonna either really see any appeal in talking to someone that's a Hikikomori, or really advertise themselves as a Hikikomori so other Hikikomoris can talk to them, you know.
Okay.
So it's like
which kind of
adds a
reverses the whole thing because they are finding people.
Yeah.
You know?
So a person who is a shut-in is very unlikely to have even online social interactions, like doing a video call or something like that, or chatting in a chat
I think
room.
they're more for watching rather than interacting.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just looking
at
like
there
the
may be other
streaming
YouTubers.
services.
Yeah.
So watching people play or playing games on their own sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think, the reason why, one of the reasons why I brought the subject up was that because, like, for my son and his friends now, they're trying to bring themselves out of that because we've had the years of you can't go anywhere, you're isolated, you know, and so I think some people may now think that that's a much more succinct life, you know, because you can just have everything ordered. You don't need to leave your house. You can work from home. You can, you know, any social interaction can be online, and you feel that you're okay and you're functioning normally. But there's a lot to be said with actual human interaction,
contact,
face to face, in person. It's completely unlike speaking to someone online and you're unprepared. I think it leads towards being socially unadjusted because you're not used to dealing with people.
But do you think it's maybe laziness, Sadiq? Like, look at me. Take me for example. You know, I'd still work from home.
Yeah.
You know, I might go into the office once in a while, and I do it because of the convenience and I have to deal with traffic. You know, I'm close to
we need the photocopier.
Well, I'm close to my daughter's school. I can do school pickup. So it kind of the convenience of it more than anything else. Is it some people just lazy, go, I can't be bothered getting on a train and getting into the city, and I just stay here and do it because it's just easier.
You're exactly right. But at some point, the laziness turns into an alternative. You know, and you'd rather you would once you hit the point where you'd rather stay at home, you'd rather speak to your friends via online.
Yeah, it starts becoming the norm.
Yeah, and that becomes your normal life. You know, you don't need to go to a cinema because you can just you can view everything online.
You've got streaming services. As long as you've got good internet, you can do pretty much everything, right?
You order everything in. I mean, I find it now, even myself, is that when you want to buy something, you think, well, I'll have a look on eBay.
Nothing
and you'll see what's there. Yeah, and you can just go, the guy will come to my house and just
drop it off.
Yeah. So you think, why do I have to go to the shops and go and look for something if I can find it at a reasonable price on eBay? You know, that's I'm just saying that it's like it's sort of really incremental.
Yeah, you do one thing and it sort of snowballs. Yeah. Kind of, is that what you kind of think? Saying kind of snowballs, because I'm agreeing with you. Sorry, Steve. Yet again, I'm agreeing with Sadiq. And
He was complaining about that the other day as well. I must admit. I know. I know we keep saying
we will get a topic where we have.
All you guys agree on anything. Just agree on everything.
We will find. No, but the reason why I agree with you is because I live exactly 2 kilometers away from a shopping center.
Yeah.
2 kilometers away. It's a 5-minute drive at best. Yep. I'll probably go there twice a year at best. Everything else is I order online.
And the city of Casey is just a wonderful place. It's just, I mean, we're not saying anything about this.
No, it's fine. I mean, parking's a bitch on a Saturday, but you know what I mean? It's just, is it, am I being lazy? Am I bordering on, am I lazy? Or has it just become my new norm? I don't think I'm in the realm of Hikikomori because I still go to CrossFit in the morning. I still interact with people. I speak with you guys. I speak with people at work. We do catch up with, friends through the school that we've made through here at the primary school. So, but has the situation of the CoCo and lockdowns almost changed me as a person in the way I interact or the way I do things. And I'm taking the the path of least resistance of I just don't have to go to the shops anymore. Just order online. $5 postage, I don't care anymore. It's only $5. It's a big deal.
Because it seems to bring more convenience. You're
I don't have to get in the car.
You're happy to pay the charge.
Well, I don't have to get in the car. I don't have to drive down there. I don't have to find a car park. I don't have to dodge people in the shopping centre.
But I think this is the slowly unraveling of what made society exactly what it is.
So getting back to a point you made earlier, talk about Jerome's generation trying to take back that social interaction that was, let's be honest, was taken away from them, from both, schooling, social interactions, and then just in general because of lockdowns. What sort of things do you find yourself doing, Jerome, to try and get back into a face-to-face social situation with your friends and move away from the online interaction?
Well, I mean, personally, I've always been more inclined to go out and, like more, I guess, do things, physically and, travel and walk around opposed to, I guess, staying inside. And I suppose, like, I haven't always been like that, but I feel like once I got like an idea of what it's like to actually have that freedom of, I can go wherever I want. I don't know, why would I want to go back,
No, because you're 18, you don't have your license yet, I understand.
No,
but you do. Oh, well, we're getting there. But as far as commuting, it's public transport. So right. So you will travel. How far will you travel on public transport to see people?
Well, I normally go to the city. So the city's only an hour, just over an hour on train.
Yeah.
And public transport's amazing. Like it's just so easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You just hop on a train and go.
See the difference? We are the complete opposite.
Man, we never took public transport. Your father and I
ever since I got my license, I vowed I would never set.
He got his license, and the same day he was at my house that night, and we drove somewhere. Where are we going? He goes, "I don't know. I'm just driving." We just took off.
And we didn't even live that far apart.
No, we didn't live that far apart, but we never took public transport anywhere. We had no reason why we didn't take it. We didn't know how it worked. We had no idea.
Yeah,
we had no idea.
I mean, it's super easy now, and like I hate buses with a passion. I don't take buses. Okay. I hate buses. That's like the bane of my existence.
Trains, trams.
Yeah, trains or trams.
Trains or trams. That's it. And trams like on a very like uncommon basis. I think I've only taken like maybe 2 trams, and that was to get from Flinders to St Kilda. And that's it.
Yeah. Can you train it from where you are now over to the west, where your dad is?
Yeah.
Can you train it there?
Yeah, I've done it. Well, at least half a dozen times.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about 3 hours on average.
Wow.
Yeah. Or less.
Oh, what's in it? No,
less, right?
It's way less. It's an hour to get to Flinders, and then from Flinders it's only 40 minutes. So it's an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, you cannot make it I could make it in the car, not doing the right thing. I could make it in an hour and a half, but it wouldn't be.
I love how you prefaced it, not doing the right thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be right, but yeah, you could do an hour and a half.
It'd be a lot of fun, though. It'd be a lot of fun.
It's especially for traffic. Forget it. Like it'll be a 3-hour trip, easy.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you don't have to worry about with trains. Is that as soon as you're on it, no delays. There's nothing.
And you find your friends are in the same sort of boat. They have the same attitude as of every chance you get, we're just going to go out and to catch up, as opposed to what you had to go through during lockdowns and using social media to have a social life.
I mean, I find the people that are still more inclined to do things indoors. That's just like kind of them, as like, you know, personality wise.
Yeah.
But for the ones that, you know, are inclined to go out more, I think, yeah, it's definitely encouraged them to do so. And it's been a pretty easy adjustment back into it, because the time that you spend with freedoms taken away from you, you can only like lament on how good it was when you had it. So you're going to be more inclined to do it when you have it back.
That was going to be my next question. Was it easy to snap back into being social, or was it something that you sort of, and you see that across the board in your age group, as in, you know, once the restrictions are off, bang, out like a ball out of a gate sort of thing?
Well, that's the thing, is that what I found really interesting is that for my age group, it's been pretty fine, because it's, you know, we're all pretty conscious enough to be a little bit more, you know, normal, human-like. But like, I found the younger ones, like 13, 14, have really been like done the worst in terms of how to act socially.
Oh,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, the year 7 and 8s have been like one of the probably the worst cohort that the school's ever had.
In the sense of
they've just been like
confidence?
Or no, they're just batshit crazy. Like they're just like damaging school property. They're like,
oh really? So it's almost
verbally assaulting teachers. They're like going nuts.
Acting
out.
out.
Yeah, they're going like crazy.
Yeah, because remember what they've been subjected to for the last 2 years. Like unlike for the J-Man, he's in year 12 now, so he's had a lot of years of normal.
Yeah.
And
I suppose for year 7,
those year 7s, you know, that's a real kind of
a transition period.
Yeah.
And to start high school and then have to do it 7 and 8, do most of that from home.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil, if you can just cast your mind back to what we used to do
last century. Yeah, I know.
Can you remember?
We used to do batshit crazy stuff and we were in school the whole time.
we had our really albino friend that was very non-violent, and we used to be able to shove him inside of the lockers in the classroom, and we would make sure it was locked, and then we'd all sit, and he'd have to stay in the whole class inside his locker.
He didn't deserve that.
Well, it wasn't his locker. Yeah, sorry, Murray. You know, you were always a wonderful guy. So
he is a wonderful guy. Absolutely. But I know what you're saying.
And one day the teacher came in and she saw the locker moving.
Poor Muzz.
Anyway, we used to do a lot of
I got shoved in the locker once. It wasn't just Murray. Don't worry. I know exactly how it feels.
I never had that problem because
you couldn't fit. No chance of you fitting in one.
I don't think they had an XL.
Didn't have no chance. But that's interesting, isn't it? And obviously, dependent on the cohort and the age group and their transition from from primary to high school. I mean, I kind of saw a little bit with my own, right? With one of the Smurfs, she started foundation grade prep and did a first semester or first term. No, it did first term. Yep. And then bang, she was doing it from home, and then it happened again in grade 1.
Yep.
And then it sort of took some adjusting for her, and I think the adjustment was more the confidence that I'm going to be staying in school. I don't have to go back and do school from home anymore, because towards the end of it, primary school kids are just over it. They just wanted to be with
100%.
play and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting that you say that. I mean, maybe maturity comes into it as well, perhaps.
Oh yeah, and also for the workload, right? The workload was also an issue as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think across the board, when it comes to all students, I think they were all hard done by the lockdowns, irrespective of year level grade, workload. I mean, it's hard enough sometimes remaining focused for university students to study, because that's the sort of format that you do study, and it's all self-directed learning. But then to do it at sort of your level, Jerome, and particularly in those VCE years, that, I mean, already the pressure is on in school, then to have to do it within a home setting it would have been quite the challenge. So I can kind of understand. 100%. I can kind of understand when the gates were open and everything was back to normal, that you guys sort of rushed back into it. Did you notice anyone that need some encouragement?
Personally, no, really. Yeah, everyone's
Patty.
No. He's chill. No, not really, because everyone, especially like year 12 though, after spending 6 years with the same people, everyone knows each other, you know. So it's like,
he has a mate that I love. He's so harmless, the guy. He's a really good kid. But I gave him a lift home once, and
poor kid
stopped on the opposite side of the road for his house.
Yeah.
And we all said goodbye. Hey, see you later. And then I drove up the street, and I had enough time to go around a roundabout.
Yeah.
And come back, because I had to go back past his house in order to go.
Yeah.
And he's still standing there trying to look for him to go across the road.
He's just checking.
He shall remain nameless, but
he shall remain nameless. But all I can say is, not a silly man, because he did need to look out for you.
No, but
in a motor vehicle.
So I had to stop, and I go
around. He's just making sure. Was this in the Rexton?
Yes, of course.
It's a big car. Every chance you can get it.
But Phil, there's one of a question you've been dying to ask the J-Man. You've mentioned it many times.
Are we going to go down? Have we finished with the Hikikomori?
Oh, for now, but
for now, if we can digress
all night.
Now, I don't know whether this is. I don't want to embarrass. Because for the viewers and listeners that don't know, J-Man's also my godson, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I care for the kid. I love the kid. I don't want to embarrass him.
It is the triangle of power.
Right.
The triangle of power.
But your father has divulged that you do have. I don't know how to word this. You're scared of taking tablets. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Irrespective of size. And you've never taken.
He has a reason for logic.
You've never swallowed a pill in your life. Oh, we've got the timers on. The timer's on, Sadiq.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Hurry up.
We've got 10 minutes.
I thought we were avoiding the timer.
We got a few minutes. Your dad's going to tell a joke, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the taking of tablets is something which, was there an incident that was the catalyst for not wanting to take it, or is it just there's something about you don't trust about those buggers? What is it? I'm just curious if you care to divulge.
Well, as far as my memory can go back, in terms of when I was, able to take tablets, or I don't know. I remember at school when I was in like grade 5 or like grade 4. I used to be like, hey, I get like a box of Smarties, and it'd be like funny when you like swallow 2 at once. You'd be like, oh, where do they go, kind of thing, yeah. Right, but I used to do that shit, and that was funny.
Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, no, just because it'd be like, oh, look at the Smartie, it's huge, and you swallow it. I distinctly remember I could swallow Smarties whole.
Oh.
And then I think it must have been.
It sounds like a euphemism.
Great. I distinctly remember I was in like grade 4 or 5 when I was sick or had a cold or something, and Mum didn't have any like Nurofen, like the liquid form or anything. So she had like exactly. So she gave me like one of the like normal Panadols. And to me, grade 4, this thing was like the size of like my pinky, you know. So she was just like, I'll just put it in your mouth and just, you know, get a glass of water and drink it and you're fine.
Yeah.
And it was one of the tablets that was like, it wasn't sugar coated. It was like the grainy, like
the rough ones.
the hardcore, a real, a proper pill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
not a tablet.
Yeah. So I remember being like, you know, cautious, but I tried to swallow it, and I just remember just getting like stuck in the middle of my throat, and I was just like keeling over and just like gagging, and like.
So there was an incident that has been a catalyst for this.
Yeah.
It's traumatic.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't me screaming at you in the kitchen while you're spraying the water everywhere while you're trying to swallow a tablet.
So do you feel like there's...
We had that many times.
Do you feel there's a point where you would be able to? Like, if they're one of the coated ones that do just slide down, particularly like, you know,
it's literally just like my throat just like locks up.
Wow.
Like it's
look, I can appreciate that it would be a reflex because the brain does some weird things. So
what happens when you realize that you're in the Matrix? And then you get told, is it the red pill or the blue pill?
So does this mean whenever you get a headache now, you have to guzzle a whole bottle of kids' Panadol just to...
Hey, just soldier on.
Soldier on.
Water and,
See, it's a win-win situation. You know, you don't now he kind of has to realize, well, ain't no man taking that route with me. He just goes, I'll just soldier on.
No, look, there's nothing wrong with hardening up. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but
it's a logical explanation after all.
Because your father told me, and he's told me a few stories of him telling you just to, you know, take the damn pill and have some water, you'll be fine. But I thought there's got to be a reason behind this, and I wanted to ask myself so I can understand and appreciate that there was an incident, and sometimes they stick with you. So.
Yet, ironically, he loves for bubble tea.
I don't get the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. But the bubble tea, that sort of just slides down. That sort of slides down. So I believe you get the coated ones would just slide down.
No, I just like I'll put it in my mouth, and as soon as like the sugar's gone, it's not. I have to like spit it out.
Yeah.
No, can't do it. No.
Oh. Hey, look, kids Panadol. You're only going to drink a whole bottle to get something worth for an adult, so it's not that bad.
You reckon? Does that work?
Yeah, well, Panadol. It's Panadol.
Just a smaller dose.
Just a smaller dose, so you have to consume more of it in order to get...
If you need some Nurofen, like for a child, it may be... It may be if it's 10 mil or 40 mil, it just means that you'll have to take at least 100.
Yeah, because Australia doesn't really sell like cough syrup and stuff for adults.
No, they do sell cough syrup, but if you get antibiotics,
yes,
they don't sell it in a liquid for adults.
No, antibiotics, it's just that it's like $3 or $4 more. That's why they like generally prescribe you tablets, is because the liquid form's more expensive.
Yeah, and plus you got to keep it in the fridge.
You got to keep it in the fridge. Exactly, transport. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I'm glad we cleared that up. By no means are we saying that you got to change your ways, but I'm glad that we cleared that up.
Finally, Uncle Phil has that out of his head now.
I have that out of my head. I've asked the question, and I can move on. And I got your back, kid. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right, you get to stay for the funny stuff. Get in to stay for the jokes, and we're going to wrap it up. I want to see the reaction of a dad joke with youth on the line.
4 minutes.
Fair enough.
One joke.
All right. Joke. What would you call the Terminator in his retirement? Come on, Phil.
The Retireminator?
I'm just like handing this to you on a platter.
Oh, the Terminator in his retirement.
Yeah.
Nah. What would you call him?
The Exterminator?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the Two Dads podcast.
Hang on, one more.
One more. We've got one more. All right, one more. We've got 3 minutes. Kick it.
Hang on, there is one thing I wanted to get through. Just out there, just think in your terms. You know, Australia. This is now going back to all the sort of updates. You know, we have our own resources. We have our own oil, but we don't do any of the processing. How many oil refineries do you reckon there is in the entire nation?
There's heaps.
All refineries.
Cost too much.
All refineries. How many do you reckon?
I don't know. 100.
3.
Oh, there's 2. 200.
90% of all fuel that is consumed in Australia is imported. Because we used to have 8, now we only have 2.
Because it's cheaper.
And thankfully, one's here.
There you go.
Melbourne. But anyway, why?
Yeah. Anyway, now you got that off your chest.
Why do all the bees have sticky hair? Come on, you got to get this one. Why do all
bees have sticky hair?
Bees have sticky hair.
We've got 2 minutes. I don't know. Give us the answer. I've got no idea.
And they were like hives or something.
It's because they all use honeycombs.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up the Two Dads podcast.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Please don't forget to tip your waitress.
We're here same time next week.
Remind everyone of this of our socials.
Our socials is Two Dads, TOODADS.podcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on YouTube. We're also on Spotify, and if you're on Anchor, we're on Anchor. Just look up Two Dads, TOODADS podcast. And a special thanks to the J-Man for joining us. It was a surprise, very warm and welcome surprise. And thank us for giving us your perspective. Hikikomori. Let's hope that it's not something which becomes prevalent in our society, and hopefully it's something that becomes less prevalent in other societies. And again,
just something you have to be aware of.
No. Pleasure, Sadiq. Until next time,
Jerome.
Take care, gentlemen.
And now the line actually works. Say hi to your mum for me.
See y'all. Bye.